How do you succeed with your business resolutions? By setting standards that actually stick. You're not alone if you're tired of starting strong in January only to feel overwhelmed and off track by February. Research does show that most people abandon their resolutions within just 7 days, friends. Why? Decision fatigue, unclear goals, and a lack of practical systems often sabotage the best intentions. But what if this next year could be different? By redefining your approach and focusing on small, consistent change, you can turn your New Year's resolutions into lasting habits that drive real results in your business growth. Before we move on, let's just take a step back. So, why do resolutions actually fail? Looking back to your previous New Year's business resolutions, how many of them did you set realistic goals? I mean, honestly, were they a realistic goal that you set for yourself and for your business? Often, small business owners will use the start of a new year to set business goals that may not have a simple plan that will set them up in the long run for success. And why can it be so easy to quit on those goals that you have such a strong desire to achieve? When we get down on ourselves and we throw our hands up in defeat, because sometimes going after those big dreams that we have for our life and for our business, they're hard. It's hard work, and we have to choose our hard. I'm sure I'm not alone when I say that running a small business takes up so much of our energy, and we only have so much time and we only have so much energy. And when you have your head down and focused, it can be so easy to put yourself on an island and forget that you actually need the support of your friends, your family, and your teammates. Giving up on our business goals and New Year's resolutions is a struggle that many people have. Don't feel like you're the only one that's on this struggle bus. In fact, studies do show that most people give up on their resolutions after just 7 days. 7 days. Why? Why is that? You know what's one thing that it could be? It's the thought of how will I actually reach this goal that gets in the way. And after a few short days, it feels overwhelming and it feels so much easier just to stop trying. It's that crossover for when it actually starts to feel like hard work and the excitement has passed and you're no longer in that right mindset, and you begin to hear your mind start in on that negative chatter. Do you know what I'm talking about, friends? If you've not been successful with your small business resolutions in the past, you're not alone. It happens to the best of us. But here's the thing, new goals open up new opportunities for us to change, for us to grow. If we do not have a strong enough reason for the change, it will be difficult to keep going after it when it begins to feel overwhelming and your decision fatigue is starting to set in. So what's the solution? Are you curious? Well, it's to set a new standard for your life. What is the new standard in your life that you want to live and you want to live by? So if you want to succeed with your business resolutions, I want you to start by making it a new standard for your life. Like, this is just how you do things. This is the new standard in which I live by. So what do I mean by a new standard? Well, a standard means it's just the new normal. It's just the new routine that you have in your life. Just what you do, who you are. So what will your new standard be? Do you want to become the person that gets up early and incorporates a new mindful morning routine? I believe in you. You can do that if that's your goal. Maybe you want to have financial stability in your business endeavors. Friends, do you want to take a peek inside my upcoming year goal setting? Well, I have a free resource for you. It's my quarterly planner. Each new quarter is a fresh start for you and for your business to set new goals. Or circle back to the one you didn't achieve last time, before you heard this podcast. Quarterly planning. This was cemented in my brain after reading the book, The 12-Week Year. Get more done in 12 weeks than most get done in 12 months. by Brian Moran. He says, we mistakenly believe that there is a lot of time left in the year and we act accordingly. We lack that sense of urgency. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? The beginning of the year, you're like, I have 12 whole months to finish this goal. But when you do that, you lack that sense of urgency and you're not realizing that every week is important. Every day is important. Every moment is important to achieving your goals. And ultimately, that effective execution happens daily and weekly. So that was a quote out of his book that he has in there. I kind of ad-libbed a little bit, but for the most part, it's all what he said, what was in the book. But what can you do personally to make this a standard happen, this new standard for your life? What guidelines can you make to set yourself up for success? And what guidelines will you follow to be successful? I think if you have those guidelines, like the things that you will do or not do, when you're running up against those barriers to achieving that resolution or that new goal, they help you to break through them. Making lasting change takes commitment, accountability, and maybe a post-it note. Yep, I said it. Maybe post-it notes around your house to remind you of your commitment and your new standard that you are trying to implement. And more importantly, on those post-it notes around your house that you have pasted everywhere or sticking up everywhere, and why this resolution was important to you when you actually set it at the end of the year or the beginning of this year. Another way that helps me with my goals and my resolutions that I have for myself is thinking of it as the role of my future self. So if you've been around me at any length of time, you'll hear me talk about my future self and how I want to feel in the future. Like, why am I working towards this? Because I want to feel this certain way. This has become my gauge then. I haven't always done this in the past, but now it just gives me a little different perspective when I begin to look at how I want my future self to feel and who I want her to be. From my personal experience, I'm not that fake it till you make it type of person. I wish I could have that sense of, like people will, act as if they have it. But I know me personally, I have to be integrity. And that's the best way for me to actually achieve my goals and my commitments that I have set for myself. This is where your future self comes into play. When making decisions in your business and in your life as much as possible, I look at them as if I am my future self. Would my future self actually thank me for this? Or would they be like, why did you make that decision? That was a bad decision. Or maybe no decision is bad, just gives you feedback, right? Anyways, or would my future self be disappointed in myself because I chose that path versus a different path? Will she think that the decision or the path that I took was actually necessary to move towards my goal? Or did I end up just causing myself to take 10 steps backwards? Small shifts always lead to bigger results, friends. Have you read the book Atomic Habits? This book is full of all kinds of amazing points from James Clear. To make change, you just need to do one small 1% change every single day. And when you look at it like 1%, you can completely make 1% of a change a day. Am I right? I mean, we can. However, it's our instant gratification minds that want the now, now, now. I want everything in less time. I don't want to have to work that hard for it. It should be easy mindset. Well, sometimes that causes us to try and change who we are overnight. Right? You go to bed and you're like, oh my gosh, I could just do this. Wake up in the morning and be this person. That feels easy that way, right? But when you cheat yourself out of going through all the steps of change, you are not actually going to be able to stick with something. Because when you make that change or go through the different steps of change, you're going through all those different steps of personal growth. It's letting you take away that feeling of excitement that keeps you driven and depend on your own self for that new beginning of who you want to become or how you want to succeed at that goal or that resolution. So if your goal is to be a rising entrepreneur Get clear on how you can help your potential clients. Like, what is it that sets you apart from everybody else? What's your zone of genius? And then circling back to the atomic habits, just ask Perplexity to give you a summary and high points of the book. And it will completely do that for you. You'll know all the different key points that people have highlighted in the book. But I want you to ask yourself, like, what is one thing specifically I can do today that will make me move in the right direction towards my goal? This one thing needs to feel like you can actually do it. And then you're going to continue to do that one thing until it becomes routine for you. It is just habit. You don't have to think about it. You know that's your new normal. That's your new standard when you're able to feel like you can do it without. And then you're going to continue to do it until it's a routine. You know it's your new normal. So remember that big commitments and big change are made one little step at a time with daily action. Clear also says to focus on systems over goals. And you know, I'm going to love that action, right? And that advice. When you set up business operations with systems, it supports your new direction to your achievable goals. Let's say you're listening to this in May. Do you need a new year to start a new standard for yourselves? Guess what? I don't think so. Every day is the perfect day to set a new standard for yourself. If you haven't had them in the past, today is a great day. Set that new standard, friend. Every day is a good day to believe that you can. If we do not have a belief in ourselves, who does? We personally have to want to make that shift. More than anything, we do. We have to want it for ourselves, or it will not stick. There will be no reason for it to stick because it wasn't something that we truly wanted ourselves. We must know why we want to change, why it is important to us personally, why we are creating a different today. If we're doing it for somebody else, it's not going to stick, friends. You have to do it for yourself. You have to do it for the right reasons. We have to want it more than anything else, any other change that we want in our lives. We have to actually see ourselves being able to achieve it, see ourselves making that change in us, holding ourselves accountable for that positive impact that we are going to be creating. Do it for you. And here's just a little side note. If you're struggling with these, create yourself a win journal. I don't care. Use Notion. I love Notion for writing down all my successes and my wins and the things that I'm celebrating, because then you can go back and actually look at those. You can read through them. You know what they say. So when you're feeling discouraged, when you're feeling down, all you have to do is pull out that one win. Go back and read a win. Read that win. Remind yourself of why you want to make this change, because it is going to have days that are going to feel hard and you don't want to fall off track. You want to be able to have a quick way to get yourself back on track. And you can do that by reading your why and reading through those wins when you were successful in the past. How to succeed with clear goals. Here's are the key points to succeed in setting your achievable goals. I want you to give yourself grace on the hard days. Remember, friends, give yourself grace. One bad day does not equal failure. It provides valuable insight into areas to develop new skills and be able to work through your setbacks. It will make you stronger on the other side. Your new standard will become your new normal. Look through things through the lens of your future self. Will your future self be pleased with your decision, or will they be frustrated with you because now you've just set yourself back a little bit farther in the process? Either way, own your decisions. One small change daily will gain you more confidence in developing that new standard way of life. What's one thing, not 20, that will keep you moving through all the steps of change? Create yourself a win jar, a win journal, somewhere. Write down your wins. Celebrate all those little wins, every single success you had. Nothing is too small. Everything should be documented as a win if in the moment you would consider it a win. And every day is a good day to set a new standard for yourself or to work towards a new standard for yourself. Okay, friends, it's time to wrap this up. It doesn't matter if you refer to them as New Year's resolutions or SMART goals or just goals or clear goals or whatever it is. What is the most important is that you're successful and you take action every single day on a regular basis to achieve those outcomes. When you put together a list of top reasons you think, put together a list of the top reasons why you want to make this change in your personal life, in your business. What's the reason? What is the reason you want to make this change? And I want you to take a closer look at why you've not been able to accomplish these in the past. And friends, I do not want you to do it from a place of judgment. Instead, I want you to do it from a place of curiosity. This is a great way to help you not keep repeating history. I hope you found this valuable. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I appreciate you, and I hope you make it a wonderful week. Yay! Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you found this episode valuable and learned some actionable tips that you can implement in your business so that you can feel accomplished and less stressed. If you enjoyed this show, please take a quick minute to share this with your business bestie, subscribe, and leave a review. It helps me reach more business owners just like you. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in future episodes, please reach out to me on my website. I've created a form just for you. Remember, with the right system and mindset, you can achieve the success your heart desires. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to chatting with you next time. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a wonderful week. And don't forget, let's grow, friends.